So a few days ago, I made a nearly $200 sale on eBay within an hour after listing it. And I am convinced that the way I set up the listing is what allowed that to happen. Now, I don't think that most people would have set the listing up the way that I did, and that's why I wanted to make this video and get feedback from you. So let me know in the comments. Now, be honest if you would have set the listing up this way before you watch this video, and then let me know if you would set listings up like this in the future after watching this video, if you happen to come across these types of items. So this will also be a good be on the lookout item type of video for you as well. So let me share with you what the items were here. It's a lot. I picked these up at a estate sale for $5 approximately. Some of you may even remember the video in which I showed this, but it's over 500 photograph slides. Now, not just any photograph slides. These are the Kodachrome red border slides. And the way in which things worked in the 1940s and 1950s when you brought your slides to Kodak for development is that they would give you them back in these red slides. So if you didn't know anything else and you just saw these red slides, that would help you to date them by seeing them in those red borders. And true to form, you could see down here, there's some dividing tabs that talk about what some of the subject areas are in this set of slides. And you could see that for the ones that have years on them, and there's more below that, but they all come from the 1940s. Like, see, it says Rhode Island, 1946, Boston, 1940, and there's many more. It also says to the right, Mrs. Roosevelt, which when you hear that, you're thinking, wow, there could be a picture in here of Eleanor Roosevelt, possible. So I wanted to look through these slides and just, have some fun, just checking out the images and seeing if they showed anything interesting. But here's the question, right? If you want to look through these slides and you want to include pictures of the slides into your listing, how exactly do you do that if you don't have a slide projector? Well, if you don't have one, here is what I'm going to suggest you do. You just pick up the slides one by one and just do this. Here's a picture of what it would look like. You could see here, this is me just sitting down, and you just pick up the slide just like that, just between your fingers, and just find a website like the Google website where you just have a white background just flashing on it, and just put it right in front of it. And there you go. That will help you see the picture because it's just going to light it up from behind. That's another reason why it's called a transparency. The light's going to be able to go through it that way, and you're going to be able to light it up and see it. And so now look at that. You could now just take a picture of that with your camera and with your phone, and then you could just edit it and put that, just crop it down and put that into your listings. And so that's exactly what I did. As you can see here, now we've got some really interesting photos that spice up the listing. And this possibly could be Eleanor Roosevelt. I'm not 100% sure. She has her hand in front of her face, but if you know what Eleanor Roosevelt looks like, there are some similarities there. Again, I don't want to state definitively, and I already have a card that shows that it says Roosevelt, so people could try to piece that together if they want to, but it's interesting. So that's the first one I started out with. Then if you have any pictures of, beautiful women that are, in any kind of traditional model pose, I highly suggest putting something like that in. So, one of the classic types of poses is, a beautiful woman who's on a swing, and she's looking out to the side like that. I mean, that's a classic, it's in many old classic, pinup pictures and things like that. So people love stuff like that. They also, by the way, love old cars. And so that's another benefit of this. So you're looking for themes. Here you really have actually two nice old cars that you could see here in this photo. So really neat. Now, we don't want to forget the fellas. And when you're getting pictures of the fellas, having a bunch of old guys sitting around in their suits and stuff, playing cards, drinking something, that is a really cool picture. People, you have to remember that people love the imagery here, okay? They don't have to literally know these people. Like the way that guy is just staring out, the way the other guy is kind of, looking back, playing poker, got his little poker face on. It's one guy's got his cigar. The drink shows up. I bet he's drinking Mountain Dew. Right there. So, the drink is nice and bright and stuff. It's really neat. Like these are the types of things people would actually blow up, develop, and and frame and and display. It's really neat. So there's that one. Now this guy here, this guy is the man. So we've got the handsome fellas in here too. Look at this guy right here. All the ladies love him. He's dressed up in his suit. He's got his hat on. He's sitting at the bench, clutching his arm with both arms with the gloves. I mean, this is awesome. Look at the outfits there, the flowers, the hats. You're also trying to give people a sense of what the fashion was like back then. So this is a great insight into that. And any one of these pictures, can elicit nostalgia from people, and they could just be amazed by any one of them that can make them want to buy the whole lot and fast. It could lead to, a quick impulsive buy. We talked about beautiful women. So beautiful women in any kind of like grass dress, with the lace on, anything with like a Hawaiian theme, those things also really work as well. Any kind of fashion statements like that also will help sell items. So let's go into some other ones. This is the one that I had just shown you. I love the outfits that both of them are wearing. The beautiful woman, the handsome guy standing in front of the bright yellow plane. So any kind of transportation that you could get in there really helps. So not just cars, but planes. If you have anything with boats, anything, trucks, those types of things help. And that's a really great pose right there in front of that plane. I mean, it's awesome, awesome picture. Here we go again. Another classic pose right at the end of that staircase, just sitting at the end with the nice hat on and the dress. Great photo as well. Nice pose. Here's another one here. I don't want to skip over. Great, kind of a funny one, like a humor one. I love the glasses that people wore back then, those circular glasses. Again, really cool outfits. Again, we've got the nice nice image of the car there, and just shows how people were dressing up, going places. I mean, this guy just looks really cool. The lady looks cool. It's just a neat couple, and I love the picture. It's great. Here's another one. Anytime you could find landscapes and people getting together, congregating into big groups for events with food and drink, anything with like an advertising label, look at that. I mean, there's just so much to look at. That one guy, he's just kind of hanging back. You got the mountains, the water, and you got a boat going by in the background. There's just a lot of things going on. You got kids playing. It's awesome. Great colors. I just love these photos. Here's another one. Here's a more formal one. So the last one that I showed you was pretty casual, and here you've got one that shows more formal dress wear here. Again, anything that's bringing people into fashion statements of the day. And then, while we have some fun things, try to play on emotion. So if you could find something that's, not anything gory, but something that shows something that has to do with human tragedy. Here's a perfect example. We've got the Auburn Fire Department, which is here in Auburn, New York, responding to clearly a fire in a pretty big house, and people, are congregating outside and, trying to, figure out what's going on. You could see that a rescue attempt had taken place, because you could see there's a big ladder up there, or they're getting ready to do that. So it does show, like, in fact, if you look on the side of the house too, you see multiple ladders leaned up trying to get people out of the house. So probably some kids up there, you would assume. A lot of dramatic stuff in that one. So it's really neat. So that is the main thing I want to show you that I think helped. Now, there's a couple other things, and I'm going to mention those as well, but I wanted to make sure I got to the main thing. Now, did that take time to do? Yes. But what I did is, it was at the end of a long work day. I took those slides and just decided to sit down on the couch, kick back, relax, had some other entertainment going on in the background, and just lifted them up one by one. And, a lot of them went fast. Ones that weren't just so interesting, I just put them down real quick, lift them up, and just skimmed out. Took photos of, by the way, anything that I thought was interesting. So I had more than those 11 photos. And then afterwards, it was fun trying to figure out which ones to select and to ultimately keep. So for me, while it did take extra time, I enjoy that. To me, that was like a treasure hunt within a treasure hunt. So if you think of it that way, so it made it an enjoyable experience. Another thing that was important for me, and I think also helped, not as much as what I just showed you. By far, I think taking those screenshots really is what helped sell this. But other thing that helped was getting a count. So you could see that there's obviously a lot of slides there. Now, I could have guesstimated and I could have said, well, there's hundreds of slides and just left it at that. But people like to know an exact number. As close as you could get to an exact number, that helps. But don't put that exact number in the title unless you have no room whatsoever. Round it off. So there's a total of 563 slides here, but I don't put 563 here. What I put is 500 plus. The reason for that is people will search for 100 slides, they'll search for 200, 300, 400, 500, but literally no one is going to type in 563. They could find that information when they go to the description section for the breakdown. Another thing that was important was figuring out with this first photo how to try to display everything to get a sense of what they were actually looking at, plus how many were there. And this is the way I decided to set it up, with just laying out the red border slides across the top, a sample of them, and then right below it, just showing people, giving them a sense of how many were there, that they could clearly tell there were hundreds, and then strategically putting the most relevant divider tab labels right up front. So anyone zooming in would say, oh, wow, World's Fair 1940, Autumn 1940, Rhode Island 46, Boston 1940, Mrs. Roosevelt. Wow, this now looks very appealing. Going down to the description section here. Oh, and by the way, when I'm doing this, I'm just breaking them out in groups of 10. So group of 10, group of 10, group of 10. And then as soon as I get a 10 of those sets of 10, boom, there's a set of 100. And just do that with another one and then just count up how many you have, and it's easy to get to that number. You don't want to sit there and just try to count consecutively to 563 or whatever the final number is, because you're going to lose track at some point. This is a way to save time. Just break that big task down into small units, makes it less overwhelming for you and makes it much easier to do. And then it's much easier to do this kind of breakdown, as you could see here. Hey, listen, there's 563 1940 slides, and here's the breakdown. Most of them are the red ones, but there were some blue, white, yellow, gray ones as well. Now, this part here, afterwards, you're going to see how I just give a basic description of some things that you could see. Listen, there's fashion, activities, landscapes, famous landmarks, handsome men, beautiful women. So, you put all that stuff in there. And then the divider tabs, this is going to look like this took me a long time to do, but I kid you not, this literally took just minutes. It looks a lot because it's going down a long ways. There are, I think, 28 divider tabs, but how long does it take you to write Green Lake, Garden, Cortland, New York, New Guinea? Okay. The point of all of this is that if you go the extra mile, it goes a long way towards making the sale. Could I have sold those by just taking a picture of the box with the slides, saying there's hundreds of them, and just posting that with no samples? Could that have sold? Absolutely. Would it have sold as fast for that price? I don't think so. So that's the point, is that it can help increase the price for you, and it can help increase the speed by which you sell it. So take that extra time in your business. If you think, how is there a way I could do this maybe a little bit better, put a little bit more effort into it? Look at what your competitors are doing. Is there something you could do to set yourself apart from that person or other people who have listings? How can you make yours different? How can you make yours stand out? Always try to think that, put in that little extra bit, and again, could go a long way. Now, speaking of awesome pictures and photographs. Let me share my screen with you one more time and show you the eBay store with a lot of purple for Purple Squirrel Emporium. So this is a really cool eBay store. It belongs to Kelly Martin, whose favorite color is purple. And as she says, she's a little bit squirrely. She is a member of the channel here. And as one of the perks that I give to anyone who is a member is that I will highlight your store in the description section. I'll put a link to it. And I'll put a link to it in the comment section. So you could go over there and check out Kelly's store. She has all sorts of really cool things with really neat purple backgrounds to a lot of them. So she's got a lot of stuff there. She's a great member. Thank you, Kelly. She said it would be a treat. I can't promise I'll highlight everyone's store in a video, but if I can make it work, I tried to. So there's Kelly's. If you're interested, by the way, in membership, all you have to do is hit this join button, and for just $1.99 a month, it gives you custom emojis that you could use in responding to comments with comments in videos. You could use them on live chats. There's cool things like the Mountain Dew, Fred Sanford. We got Cookie Monster, Pink Panther, Daisy, Godzilla, Primetime Treasure Hunter logo. It's cool. You get these little loyalty badges next to your name. It says that you're a member if you come to the live chats. You get a 1 hour early access to videos that I put out as well, such as this one. And then there's different levels as well that give additional perks like a members only live show and stuff like that. But this basic introductory one is just $1.99 a month. So if you're interested in membership, check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I'll see you back at the next one, everyone. Take care.